just
where
getting
Laura
started.
Castelano and I, Pamela Livingstone, are thrilled to bring in as our very first guest, Oona Soleil. Yay! And Oona,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Oona is renowned in Europe and has quite a reputation in the United States and elsewhere as a shaman, as an extraterrestrial communicator and experiencer and conductor of connection. Welcome to Aquarius Awakes, where Laura have been graced with and I, Pamela Livingstone, knowledge thrilled and to bring in as our very first guest almost a decade now, and I am so looking forward to sharing you with and Oona.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oona is renowned in Europe and has quite a reputation in the United States and elsewhere as your early experience as with an extraterrestrial communicator and experiencer and conductor of experiences, even those in the military who I have become graced with consultants, knowledge and such in this arena. Frequently have had almost a decade childhood now, experiences. And I am so looking forward to sharing you with our world from here, and then later living in Germany. If you had we would any early for people to know a little bit about your early experience with
thank you for having me, first of all.
And we've been finding
so I was born in Scotland, and then we moved to Switzerland.
Even though
I am Scottish and Swiss.
Who become
what my grandmother in Switzerland would do is she'd get me out of bed
frequently
because she was out on the balcony looking at the starry nights,
growing up in Scotland,
and she was so overwhelmed with love and delight about how beautiful Venus is tonight, or how beautiful Jupiter is tonight. Well, so she just had to
thank
share
you for having me, first
this
of all.
feeling. And I was in a big bedroom with my brothers, and
she
then
only
we
got
moved
me
to Switzerland.
She wrapped me
I am
in
Scottish and Swiss, in a blanket, and there I stood next
what
to
my
her.
grandmother in Switzerland would do is
standing
she'd get
there
me out of bed
admiring Venus, because
And-
she was out
and
on
the
the
most
balcony
important thing
looking
to
at
me
the
actually
starry
was
nights, the devotion that I
and
could
she was
feel
so
in her.
overwhelmed with love.
I would feel
delight
such
about
how beautiful Venus is
humbleness,
tonight, or
devotion,
how beautiful
connection, sincerity.
Jupiter is tonight.
And
So
we
she
would
just
always
had
end
to share
with
this
waving,
feeling,
just
and
in case
I was in a big bedroom
there's
with my brothers.
somebody living
She
on
only got
Venus
me. She
or
wrapped
Jupiter
me in
or
a
the moon.
in a blanket, and there I stood
And
next to her. I just think
standing
that is
there
what
admiring
prepared me.
Venus.
And
the
for
most important thing to
having
me
the right
actually was
attitude, the devotion
to-
that I
for
could
being
feel
in the
her.
right
state,
for
I would
connecting.
feel such. So I don't actually remember
Humbleness,
much devotion, connection,
terms of
sincerity,
real
contact. And we would always end with.
I remember
waving,
a lot of my
just in
grandmother's
case there's somebody
teachings.
living on Venus or
My
Jupiter or the moon. First, and
out
I
of
think
body
that is what
experience.
prepared me
I was
for having the right
29,
attitude,
going on 30.
for being in the right
that
state,
happened, but
for
I was always
connecting.
fascinated.
So I
was
don't
always
actually
interested.
remember much.
Actually, I can't say that
in
was the
terms
first
of
one. I do
real
have a memory
contact.
of as a baby.
I remember
being
a
in
lot
the
of my
pram outside in the
grandmother's
garden teachings.
and I couldn't see from the body. I couldn't see
First,
out. It was cold, so there was
out of
there were
body
lots of blankets on
experience.
top of
I
me.
was
And
I
so
was
I had to go out of body, which
29,
was not a
going on
problem. I
30.
go out of body, and I could
when that
see what was
happened,
happening
but I
all
was
around.
always fascinated. I was
And my
always
mother would
interested.
come out every once in a
Actually, I
while,
can't
and
say
she'd
that
look
was the
into the
first one. I
pram.
do have
And
a
here I
memory
was. I wasn't
of
in
as
the
a
pram.
baby.
I was outside.
being in the pram.
So I
outside in
realized
the
if I
garden.
wanted attention, and I couldn't see,
I would need to go
from the
back into
body.
the
I
body.
couldn't see out.
Then I would have
it was
attention,
cold, so
and
there
then I
was,
would have
there were lots of blankets on
Those
top
are
of me.
my
And so I had
earliest
to go out of
memories, I
body,
would
which
say.
was not a problem. I go out of body, and I could see what
Wow.
was happening all around. And my mother would come out every once in a while, and she'd look
think
into the
about
pram. And here I was. I wasn't in the
just
pram.
the
I was
enculturation
outside.
process
So I realized
with
if
that
I wanted
experience
attention,
alone.
I would need to go back into the body.
Yeah.
Then I would have attention, and then I would have connection. And I remember
Those
my
are
Scottish
earliest
grandmother.
memories,
She
I
would
would
come
say.
over and visit us. I have 3 brothers, and I would love to sit with her and listen to all the stories she had.
Just
and
the
no one else was
enculturation
interested.
process.
My mother was
with that
happy that I
experience
was
alone.
with her mother-in-law, my grandmother.
Yeah.
And she would tell me about,
and I remember my
Scottish grandmother. She would come over and visit us. The fortune teller she went to, she taught me how to read
I would
palms.
love to sit with her and listen to all the
astronomy as a teenager.
I was always interested in.
My mother was happy that I was
this. What is
with
this life
her
really
mother-in-law,
about?
my grandmother.
What is this
And
body I'm
about
identifying
the ghosts she saw, the
Why am I not
premonitional
identifying
dreams
with
she had,
your body?
the fortune teller she went to. She taught me how to read palms.
Why am I making this mouse move
I
and
came to
not
love
somebody
astronomy
else's
as a
mouse
teenager.
move?
I was always interested in what's behind this. What
And
is this
so
life really
I
about?
was
What is this
waiting
body I'm
for someone
identifying with to tell me how
Why am
this
I not
works?
identifying
How
with
does this life
your
work?
body?
And so I went through
Why am I
primary
making
school,
this mouse move and not
secondary
somebody
school.
else's mouse
They were still
move?
not telling me. I went to university, and then I soon realized,
And so
no, they're
I
not
was
telling me either.
I was waiting
So
for
that's
someone
when I went on
to
a
tell me
journey
how this
of
works.
How does this life work?
People
And
who
so I
would
went
give
through
me
primary
more
school,
information,
secondary
who
school.
were
They were still not
connected
telling me.
to
Went to university,
that
and then I
which I
soon
was
realized, no,
seeking.
they're not telling me either.
And
So that's when I went on a journey of
I
finding,
remember,
at some
people
point
who
I
would
realized,
give me
okay,
more
I get a year
information
older, and I
who
get
were
another year
connected
older.
to
Oh, there's a
that which I was seeking.
that happens.
And
then I was
my
thinking
Swiss
ahead.
grandmother,
So,
as a 4-year-old,
I remember,
probably.
at some point I realized,
So
okay,
what
I get a
happens
year
when you
older,
get really
and I get
old?
another
My
year
grandmother's
older.
really old. Well,
Oh, there's a
what happens then?
timeline, I was told,
That
you die.
happens.
And then
So
I was
what happens
thinking
after
ahead,
you die as a 4-year-old?
or why
probably?
would anybody want to even die? I
So
thought it
what
was a
happens
choice
when
we
you
had.
get really old?
My grandmother's really old. Well,
What happens
my
then?
mother's
I was
answer
told you die.
was,
So
don't
what
worry
happens
about
after
it
you
now.
die?
You've got a long
Or
way
why
to
would
go.
anybody want
That's
to even
not what I
die?
was
I thought it was
asking.
a choice we had.
So I asked my grandmother, and my grandmother
mother's
said,
answer was,
you know, at some
don't worry
point
about
you just
it now.
get
You've got a
really
long way to
tired
go.
of the drama
That's not
of
what I was
this
asking.
life. So I asked my grandmother,
And that was a wonderful
and my
answer.
grandmother said,
And I could feel into
at
that.
some point
Sometimes
you
you
just get
tired
really
of all this
tired of the drama
junk
of
drama
this life.
going on.
And that was a wonderful answer. And I could feel into that. Sometimes you're just tired of all this junk drama going on.
Bit of Laura's experience. Having this, it reminds me a little bit of amazing people in one's life. And having grandmothers, these important, amazing people in one's life, and just an awareness. Grandmothers. Laura had an extraordinary awareness, grandmother as a child, and just an awareness. My awareness was like that until it was kind of. I can't say my awareness was like that until it was kind of.
Then you had the childhood experiences,
a little different.
the direct childhood experiences.
And then you had the
childhood
in one way or other, we've all been
childhood experiences.
Yeah.
So, in one way or other, we've all been touched.
Well, and then you went on to
Exactly.
some. Well, and then you went on to had some extraordinary training, very well-known some extraordinary teachers with and very well-known teachers, spiritual communities, people both as well as spiritual communities, as well as extraterrestrial contact communities, contact communities. Have sought that out.
Always from necessity.
My idea of necessity.
The need to know more.
Where it starts.
Where it starts.
Figure out what this life is.
And there were lots of teachers, small teachers, weekend teachers, and so on. One of the really important ones is comes from a Mayan lineage. Her name is Star Fuentes. And I went to her because I had a session with somebody, just having fun. A session with somebody in Germany. And what they basically did was an exorcism.
We don't call it that. It has a very dire sound. Has a very dire boogie busting
sound.
And it had such a relief.
And
I was so relieved. It had such a relief. I was so relieved.
A great effect on me that I thought I need to learn this too.
A great effect on me that I thought I need to learn this too.
I asked, where can I learn this? Well, Star
Fuentes
teaches it.
She's giving a class in a few months.
I looked at the cost.
She's giving a class in a few months
to see how I manifest.
I looked at the cost.
I did manifest it by cleaning up my financial quarter.
To see how I manifest
having the flyer under my pillow.
I did manifest it by cleaning up my financial quarter.
Came out of an unexpected corner.
Having the flyer under my pillow.
Boogie busting was not on the list.
Came out of an unexpected corner. The money was given to me. I went there.
I spent my time.
Boogie busting was not on the list.
Taking in everything I could learn from this amazing woman, from this amazing lineage.
my time there, taking in everything I could learn from this amazing woman, from this amazing lineage.
Something about ask,
and you shall
at the
receive.
right moment, and my hand shot
the right
moment.
And I said,
ask and you shall
receive.
I would like to
something
learn
about ask and you shall receive.
And she stared at me.
And my hand shot up.
And she said,
and I said, ask
okay.
and you shall receive.
And she
I would like to learn boogie busting.
just like that. And she stared at me. And so
And
then
said,
I was taken into the lineage eventually, and
she taught it to me.
I learned
just like
a tremendous amount of things, ways to heal and ways to deal with life.
And so then I was taken into the lineage eventually, and I was in an accelerated.
I learned a tremendous amount of things,
trajectory,
ways to heal and ways to deal with life.
These
ways to be.
I was in an accelerated.
Eventually, I became a teacher.
Trajectory.
In the lineage, I learned how to teach through
That's
the
what
aura.
they do.
So it's not the kind of teaching we are used to.
It's that sitting in the aura of a teacher.
Eventually, I became a teacher.
Just like this.
In the lineage, I learned how to
don't
teach
have to
through the
sit there
aura
and study.
So it's
and
not
learn
the kind of teaching we
memorize.
are used to.
It's that sitting in the aura of a teacher, and it just goes
and
just like
take
this.
it all in, and then you can do it.
Such an easy way.
You don't
how
have to
children
sit
learn
there
to
and
study
walk
and
talk.
learn and memorize.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You come,
it occurs to me that
open, and take it all
of,
in, and then you can do it.
Fear.
Such an easy way. It's how children learn to walk and talk.
Non-human intelligences. Extraterrestrials, whether or not they are actually extraterrestrial, if they're whatever world they're living in, but there's so much around that connection. Your boogie busting, non-human intelligences, have really extraterrestrials, taking that whether or not they are actually extraterrestrial, if they're have really whatever world they're living in. Through, but that there's so much fear, and that your boogie busting, is there a connection? May have you really on that taking that on as
there's a whole lot of fear going around. It's how we are being controlled,
really
and anybody can control you when they put you into fear. What I learned through boogie busting is that as long as I truly claim who I am, I'm claiming this body, I'm claiming this aura. I'm
there's
claiming
a whole lot of fear
I'm claiming
going
around. It's how we are being controlled.
No one else can interfere.
No one else has the right
when they
or
put you into fear.
can even interfere with this.
It's impossible.
What I learned through boogie busting is that as long as I truly claim who I am, I'm claiming this body, I'm claiming this aura, I'm claiming these emotions, I'm claiming
3
these
hours
thoughts.
up in the middle of the night sweating too.
No one else can interfere.
No one else has the right or can even interfere.
And when you
know without a doubt,
it's impossible.
No one has permission
or
has the ability to do something.
This
if you
boogie
don't
busting,
give them the
permission. Did encounter
then you're
difficult
fine.
situations. Then you're 100%
3
fine.
hours up in the middle of the night sweating to,
and I was never much of a person who had much fear, but of course we all do.
And when you know, when you
fear
know
can be
without a
helpful in
doubt
certain situations,
no one has
if you do
permission
something
or
that
has the ability to do something,
if
that
you
makes you
don't give
afraid,
them the
you
permission,
can do the impossible.
then you're fine.
What you thought was impossible,
then you're 100% fine.
And that sort of leads into.
And I was never much of a person who
the
had much fear,
emotions,
but of course we all do. Awakening Emotions course, fear can be helpful in certain situations
because if you do something
fundamental, and it is so different
that makes
from
you
what
afraid,
anybody
you
can realize
do the
is
impossible.
Plays or what
you thought was impossible,
conditioned to
suddenly
to do with our
possible.
feelings.
And
we're conditioned
that
to either
sort of
suppress them
leads into
or use them in a bad way.
But we can
the
always use every
emotions
emotion in a healthy way.
Awakening Emotions course,
it's such a basic transformation
that is so
course that I'm actually going to go to Germany and teach it again
so
this
different
May.
from what anybody
Where in Germany are you teaching it?
realizes or
near
plays
Nuremberg.
or what we're conditioned to do with our feelings.
It's not out yet officially.
We're conditioned to either suppress them or use them in a bad way,
your
but we can always use every emotion in a healthy way.
Yes.
And
it's such a basic
people have said this should be in every school, but of course
that I'm
that's not
actually
the way
going to
things
go to
happen.
Germany and teach it again this May.
The brilliance of your
Where in
feelings
Germany are you teaching it? Wow.
near Nuremberg.
and it's available on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's also available in German.
It's not out yet officially, but
It's wonderful.
And it gives you a completely different idea of emotions and how you can use them in a healthy way.
Yes. It's
and you're teaching not only
people have said this should be in every school, but of course that's not the way things happen.
But you're doing another
What's the
course,
name
of
an introduction to mastery.
The brilliance of your
At
feelings.
the same venue, correct?
Yes, that's right. I'm doing
and it's
teaching
available on
initiations
Amazon.
of mastery, which comes from
also
this
available in
Mayan
German.
lineage. And what it does is it accelerates your learning,
and it gives you a
instead of
completely
taking 10
different
years to
idea
learn
of
something
you
of
can do it in
emotions
1 year.
and how you can use them. in a healthy way. It has helped me tremendously. It's helped other people tremendously. And just means that instead of having to come back for another lifetime of learning and slow processing, you do it much faster. You've got to be comfortable with processing because that happens. To me, that's fun. I'm not one who that's right. I'm doing teaching initiations of mastery, which comes from this the awakening emotions is really about it accelerates becoming aware of your emotions, which is 10 years to learn. We're going through as a whole. You can do it in 1 year, whole society. And it has helped me tremendously. It's helped other people tremendously. And just really means that instead of having to come back for another lifetime of learning, it's not a basic course that everybody you do needs. It's much one faster. For those people you've got to be comfortable with processing because that happens. Reach mastery. To me, that's fun.
That makes sense.
Not one who
on your
lingers around,
website, which is oonaferguson.com,
so that's,
and we will
the awakening emotions is really about
so many
becoming aware of your emotions, which is what we're going through as a whole
direct
whole society.
Courses. You're currently based in
and
Kenya,
the initiations of mastery is really about
many places
mastering things. It's not a basic course that everybody needs. It's one for those people who want to reach mastery. Yeah, which is a very interesting conference because they actually managed to bring together people of various, a great variety of backgrounds and interests, all connected to extraterrestrials. You might think, well, it's
so many courses,
extraterrestrials, everybody will more or less say the same thing. That's not what happens. They're really doing a wonderful job. And you can be there online and you can be there in person.
But travel the world. I'm so enjoying seeing the science found in many places. And you'll technology at the International Extraterrestrial Conference aspects all come together in November.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Yes. Which is a very interesting conference because they actually managed to bring together people of various, a great variety of backgrounds and interests, all connected to extraterrestrials. You might think, well, it's
just so much of
extraterrestrials, everybody will more or less say the same thing. That's not what happens. They're really doing a wonderful job. And you can be there online and you can be there in person.
Of our current consciousness, move beyond fear. I'm so enjoying seeing the science. You had some really good questions about that. Technology
just so many
aspects.
Things. I think it's so
with
fantastic
the
how you learned
from these aspects all come together
matriarchal
now.
lineage of curanderas.
Amazing.
And you bringing, talk about
Laura and I were
going
speaking
beyond
about the consciousness
bringing information
elements before we started our
through the matriarchal lineages and bringing women together. And your work is so powerful.
Consciousness
and we see you as an authority
to this
in
transition
these
and what you were just
right
so much of what you've been talking about.
Because of that, we would like to ask you. So many people are
a society to move beyond borders, to move beyond the limitations of our current consciousness, move beyond fear.
Let's just call
and Laura,
NHI
you had some really good questions.
A general
about
term
that.
or there's just so many things. Possible interdimensional. I think it's so fantastic how you learned. And so, from these, your perspective, matriarchal lineage of learned and studied your whole life, and you lived it. Talk about going beyond borders and bringing information a little bit internationally, your wisdom through the matriarchal lineages and bringing women together. And your work is so powerful, and we see you as an authority in these.
You have to stay in your heart.
Specifics that we are dealing
with right
now in our lives with this shift that's happening.
Is a connection of the heart and the mind.
So many people are going out and doing contact.
What a lot of spirituality teaches is all about the mind.
To connect with.
And you're thinking about things and you're going out through the crown chakra and you're going out to channel and see all sorts of
possible
beings. If that is not connected to the heart,
and so
it's not gonna.
Your perspective.
It's not gonna expand your consciousness. It's not gonna make you
studied your whole life,
wiser.
Lived it. How can you help?
It's not gonna keep you safe.
Tell us a little bit.
Some of the teachings I've received come
these times
from
and with
a tribe in the far north, and they say you have to stay in your heart, and all will be well. It's consciousness. And that is, I've pondered that for many years. It is a connection of
of the heart only and the in the daily life. Stay compassionate, stay with loving feelings. What a lot of spirituality teaches is all about the mind. It's actually in dire situations, in difficult situations, and you're thinking about things, and you're going out, you're sensing your heart, you're sensing your physical heart, and you're going out to channel and see lots of beings. If that is not in whatever, however way you can best do it, there are techniques for doing exceptional work. It's not going to expand your consciousness. It's not going to make you. But whatever you can do at this moment is good enough. When you fill your heart with that, it's not going to keep you safe. That energy. Some of the teachings I've received can be screaming at you and shouting at you, and you're in that tribe energy in the far north. It's first of all not going to affect you, and second of all, it's they say going to heal the other person. Stay in your heart, and all will be well. I've had people, and that is shout at me, scream. I've pondered that for many years. It is, and I stand there, and I'm feeling my heart, and I'm feeling love in the daily life. And I notice all these emotions coming towards me, with loving feelings. I'm feeling love. And then eventually, actually in dire situations, in difficult situations, nothing more to say. Because when you stay in your heart, you're sensing your heart, you're sensing your physical heart. And I'm still just standing there. And you're filling that heart with love. And it confuses them. Because they're not getting whatever, however way you can best do it. There are techniques for doing exceptional work. They will feel the love. And that is what stops them. But whatever you can do at this moment brings them back to their senses. When you fill your heart, so when we make contact with extraterrestrials or interdimensional energy, all is well. When you fill your heart screaming at you and shouting at you, and there's no fear in that energy. It's impossible to be in fear. It's first of all not going to affect you, and second of all, it's going to heal the other person. We attract what we resonate with. I've had people, if we're in this amazing shout at me, scream at me, feeling of love, and I stand there and I'm feeling my heart gets bigger and bigger, and I'm feeling love and wondering what's going on, and I notice all these emotions are coming towards me, and I'm still that's me. I'm feeling love, and then eventually send love to Mother Earth, shouting. They have nothing more to say because I'm not doing the reaction that people are used to, and then relax, and I'm back, and what comes standing there, looking at them, is love, and it confuses them, and that's how we connect. A reaction. We go to that space, and eventually everyone can connect to. Most of the times, they will feel, and that's where we meet, and the extraterrestrials. That's where we meet the interdimensionals. Brings them back to their senses in a perfectly safe, so when we make contact, wonderful, blissful extraterrestrials or interdimensional, and in thousands of. When you fill your heart, times so much when people do contact work in this way, never once. There's no fear. Never once. It's impossible to be in fear that you don't want to meet. And we attract what we resonate with. So if we're in this amazing, beautiful feeling of love, and it goes out from our heart, and it gets bigger and bigger, and fills the earth, and it fills the solar system, and it fills the cosmos.
What we've agreed to, but what
comes
we
back.
React is
when we send love to Mother Earth. You can just send love to Mother Earth
to raise, improve,
and then relax, sit back, and what comes back
with love.
Is love. Yeah. And sometimes it takes training. And that's how we connect. If you grow up we go to that in a family where everyone can connect. It wasn't about love, but actually abuse. And that's where we meet abuse, which most of us the extraterrestrials. That's where we meet the interdimensional abuse, and even that some people don't recognize. Or mental abuse. In a perfectly safe, uplifting, it is wonderful that you've closed off your heart. So and to shield yourself, thousands of, as a child, it's not so easy to walk away. Times of when people do contact work in this way, then never once it takes work. And never once is there anything absolutely 100% possible.
Absolutely.
I feel like this shadow work does come up with you, Oona, in everything in your story.
You receive what you're putting
out a little bit. It's almost like
many of our experiences
having to integrate and own your shadow.
What we've
in order
agreed to, but
really
how we react
your power
is our own choice.
I don't know.
And we're all able to raise, improve, change and experience.
Shadow work, I don't use that term at all. It sounds like there's something wrong and there's something we need to do about it. And sometimes it takes training. What the conclusion that I've come to is in a family where It wasn't about who love, we are actually is abuse, good and loving. It's emotional abuse, and then we can go and dig. And there's sometimes that's something physical that you think, what is it? Where does that come from? People don't recognize. That's something that you don't really want to have, which you might be calling shadows of your heart. So and you can try to remove it, because as a child, it's not. And you can try to suppress it, to walk away. So the conclusion I've made is then it means it takes work. That was implanted in us. It is absolutely 100%. Don't identify with that. And that's the best way that I find to not have it pop up. Just don't identify with it and know it's not you, it's not me, it's not who we are.
Everything in your story and what you're telling us a little bit, it's almost powerful. That's really powerful. You mentioned having to integrate and own your shadow in order to really understand. And I just want to say, as an astrologer, and we can cut this out, but I do want to just a little bit, not to say too much personal, but I know your astrology, and you have powerful Venus in your aspect.
So do I. Okay, tell me about shadow work. I don't use that term at all. So it sounds like there's something wrong and there's something we need to do about ourselves. But what the conclusion that I've come to is
and how she activated you as a youth.
Who we are is good and loving.
Energy field,
and then we can go and dig, and there's sometimes that's something that you think, what is it? Where does that come from?
So powerful.
That's something that you don't really want to have.
As an astrologer, looking at
which you might be calling shadow.
This, very Venusian energy
and you can try to remove it.
She's all about community,
and you can try to suppress it.
Space and the mother,
the lover. The conclusion I've made is that's not who we are. That was implanted in us.
Embodies all of that, and
don't identify with that.
Is so in alignment with this,
and that's the best way that I find to
say something about it and
to not have it pop up.
And how when you
just don't identify it with it and know it's not something else. It's not you. It's not me. It's not who we are.
With your true self instead. That's
powerful.
Am I right? Or am I missing something?
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah. No, we align with who we truly are. We're not bad. We're not. If somebody puts something into our bodies or into our spaces, however, that is not who we are.
It's just a little bit, not to say too much personal, but I know your astrology.
That point that alignment is, akin to receiving the energy that we're putting out.
Okay, tell me about it.
It's all
that.
Yes, it's all the same.
So I don't know.
That's
I don't want to be too personal about your in public. But
is that accurate?
This connection that you've always had.
Yes,
with
and
Venus
well,
and
thank you also, Laura, for sharing that. I never looked at it that way. I haven't done
energy field and
much in the way of astrology. I've always been curious. So but it reminds me of another way of navigating life to not get entangled with all this shadow stuff is to have values.
Very Venusian
if I know what my top 1, 2, 3, 4 values are,
love and acceptance in the heart
then they will guide me. And really, everyone has to figure out what their personal value is. It could be integrity. It could be, it really could be anything. For me, that's probably my Libra, you'll say, is my top value is beauty. And I see beauty in people, and I admire you, Laura, for what the way you look, the way you present yourself. It's so beautiful, and it feels so heartwarming to feel, to sense, to see beauty.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, in every way. Whether it's the beauty we align with who we truly are. We're not bad. We're not. If somebody puts something into our body, physically not into our space, beautiful. However, I will feel the soul, and I will know whether that soul. How beautiful that soul comes across.
That point that alignment is, akin to
lovely.
Receiving the energy that we're putting out.
This reminds me of something
it's all
Regina Meredith had said
it's all
about
the same
need
that's
right now for
in these
humans,
fields,
sapiens, Homo sapiens, to
yes, and well, thank you also, Laura, for sharing that. I never looked at it that way. I haven't done
that she put
much in the way of astrology. I've always been curious.
In one of
so
the shorts,
it reminds me of another way of navigating life, to not
stop judging,
get entangled with all this shadow stuff, is to have values.
Would help.
If I know what my top 1, 2, 3, 4 values are,
your story,
then they will guide me.
Who's coming at you with anger.
Really, everyone has to figure out what their personal value is.
This has worked for me.
It could be integrity. It could be
stop judging them.
It really could be anything.
For me, wherever they are.
That's probably my Libra. You'll say is my top value is beauty.
It changes,
and I see beauty in people, and I admire you, Laura, for
what helped me move from judgment.
The way you look, the way you present yourself. It's knowing so beautiful, and it feels so.
I can move from judgment to discernment.
To sense
that when I judge,
to see beauty. Someone, we tend to think, well, that means in every way, whether it's the beauty if I don't judge them, I agree with them. Physical beauty. If I move from, sometimes people may even
the green pillow is bad, the yellow pillow is good.
Beautiful. I will feel the soul. And I don't want the green pillow. That soul,
I want the yellow pillow.
How beautiful that soul comes.
That's discernment.
Wow.
It's taking a decision.
Lovely.
I don't want to be with that. I want to be there. And
absolutely.
That's where the emotions come in.
Something Regina Meredith
in my understanding, we were all given emotions.
Right
like we were given eyes, we were given ears, we were given a mouth with which to interact
sapiens.
With this life.
Homo sapiens.
No matter who you ask, whether it's the Kalahari Bushman or the little girl in London or the shaman in Siberia, you say anger and they know exactly what you're talking about.
Message
so this is a natural energy that we were all given.
YouTube channel. In one of the shorts,
what I teach is that instead of staying in the low drama of blaming somebody and playing victim, and you've got the perpetrator and you've got the rescuer and all of that, that's this mess here. You move to a higher level. You don't interact with that game anymore. You move out of the victim, the perpetrator, the rescuer, and the other ones that are there. And you move up there. So to do that, to move out of the anger and the grief and the sadness, you need to actually know these feelings. You need to, your body needs to feel safe when it uses anger, and it learns to use anger in a healthy way. So discernment is anger. Instead of judging, this is bad, this is good,
the dynamics
you go to, this is what I want. Or this is what I don't want.
What helped me move
martial
from
arts.
judgment?
It's anger. It's the same energy, but an octave higher. If you're starting on a C and you call anger low drama anger,
that when I judge,
you're moving up to a higher C. Someone, we tend to think, well, that means if I don't judge, that's when the magic starts happening, and that's if I move, you become all powerful. And when your body feels comfortable, the green pillow is bad, the yellow pillow is good. Emotions, once it feels safe, because it knows how to use them safely. I don't want the green pillow, like a temper tantrum, want the yellow safely, like this is what I want. That's discernment. Then life becomes it's taking a decision. I don't want to be with that. I want to be there. They're having a temper tantrum. That's where the emotions come in. It's not who they are. It's their anger. It's in my understanding, we were all given emotions. You know, like we were given eyes, we were given ears, we were given a mouth with which to interact with this life. Emotions, no matter who you ask, whether it's the Kalahari Bushman or the little girl in London or the shaman in Siberia, you say anger, and they know exactly what you're talking about. So this is a natural energy that we were all given. I had this mother of two girls. They were what I teach is that 7 and 9. Instead of staying in the low drama, after the course she came home and the girls blaming somebody and playing victim, and you've got the perpetrator and the victim, got the rescuer and all of that, the anger, whatever. Those games did not work anymore. That's this. So they said to the mother, "We don't like the way you are now," because to a higher level. You don't interact with that game anymore. It did not take more than a few weeks, the perpetrator, the rescuer, and the other ones that are there. Wow, we actually like the way you are. We want to learn this too. To do that, so the next time these girls came to the anger and the grief and sadness, were they you need to actually know these feelings. They were so sharp. And your body needs to feel safe. Where, those girls, when it uses anger, and it learns to use anger in a healthy way.
Incredible.
So discernment is anger. You become really authentic. Judging, this is bad, this is good. Become a powerful. You go to this is what I want, suppressed and messed with, or this is what I don't want. And that's martial arts. It's anger. It's the same energy, but an octave higher. He's so puzzled. If you're starting on a C and you call anger, this is so low drama anger. It teaches. You're moving up to a higher C.
Yes.
Or several C's higher. And that's when the magic starts happening. And that's when you become all powerful.
The warrior,
and when your body feels comfortable
rituals and
with these emotions wants to feel safe because it knows how to use them safely.
They all have their
not destructively like a temper tantrum, but safely like this is what I want.
Chakras,
then
holding their energy
life
and their
becomes
strength and their
so
power.
much easier
And
because
that's
you're
what came
powerful.
to me when you're talking about
Your body also can accept,
this.
okay,
It's
that
like,
person,
this ancient
they're
way
having
that you're
a temper
bringing back this
tantrum. That's
powerful
okay.
way
It's
of
just anger.
channeling
It's
your
not who they
energy,
are.
your
It's their
emotions, and your
anger.
power.
It's
And
somebody's
shaman,
crying.
right?
You don't have to go and stop
learning
them.
how to transmute,
You know they're
channel
doing
this
something
raw emotion,
healthy.
this energy, and alchemizing it, turning it lead into gold.
Yeah, so that was a little bit about my
absolutely
emotions
groundbreaking
course,
to us,
which is
in our
really,
modern
it truly
lives,
is
Oona, and
so,
this work is very
so
powerful.
powerful.
So is this in
You learn
Germany?
to
This
stop
is Luxembourg,
playing the
Nuremberg,
games,
Germany?
you yourself, and the people around you, your family.
Apologies, like
I
I'm an
particularly
ignorant
remember
American.
in the beginnings of
But
when I
this is
started
what-
teaching, I
we're gonna
had
put all this in
this mother of two
for
girls.
any
They
Americans
were
who can fly
probably
to
7 and
Germany
9.
or anybody
And
from all over the world to go and be
after
able
the
to
course, she came
use
home
this
and the girls
transformative,
could not push her
powerful,
around anymore. They could
tool
not
that you're
play the
teaching
victim,
on how
ooh, I
to,
need this, or
and
the
it's in
anger, or
November,
whatever.
did you say?
Those games did not work
Pamela,
anymore.
it's
So
in
they
May.
said to the mother, we don't like the way
coming
you
up
are
very
now.
soon. Coming up very
Because they couldn't
soon.
manipulate her.
So, but we still have some time to
And
get the tickets.
it did not take more than a
Oona, is
few
there still
weeks, a
space?
few
Is
days,
Are able
till
to
they said,
produce sounds,
wow,
not even
we
all of them
actually
have
like the
even
way you are.
mouths.
We want to learn this too.
So this is a
So the
truly
next time these
universal
girls came to the
language.
to the class, and
Oh,
it doesn't matter
were
who
they
you
good.
are. You can be an animal.
They
you can be
were
a
so
plant. You can
sharp.
be
And
it's one of those
from a
things
galaxy
where you know those
far
girls.
away.
Nobody's going to mess with
And
them. You will be able to understand it because it's universal.
Incredible.
And it works with it works
you
with
become
shapes.
really authentic,
And it works
and,
with
and the emotions
color
become a
frequencies.
powerful tool.
So we generally work with
suppressed and
144
messed with
different
and,
color frequencies, but there's more. Remember one of these, and we work with over 70 shapes, and there's more.
He's so puzzled.
And you combine
He says,
colors and shapes
why
in
are you
different ways.
teaching this?
You create
This is so
sentences, you
powerful.
create grids,
Nobody
and you
teaches
set them in
their
different ways to
students
achieve
powerful.
different things.
Yes.
Anything from love and certainty
Reminds me of
to in 3 months I want to be
the warrior.
Oh, we had this one once.
Rituals.
A woman wrote a grid for being back with her husband.
Easter
Her
Island, or
husband had left her.
The Moai,
She wrote a grid to be
all
back
have their
with her
hands
husband
to
in
their
3 months' time.
lower
Well, they did.
chakras,
He did come back for 2
solar
weeks.
plexus chakras.
You've got to be accurate in what
holding
you
their
say,
energy
and
and
the
their
other person
strength
always
and their
has free will.
power.
It's like you're
That's
just
what came to me when
communicating.
you were
Doesn't mean
talking
the other
about
person's going to say yes to it.
this. It's like this.
That's
ancient
how it
way that you're
that's how it
bringing back
works.
this
So
powerful
it's
way of channeling your energy.
the
and emotions
curanderos
and
have
your
been
power.
wanting
And
to bring this knowledge
and
out
shaman, right?
100 years ago.
Learning
And
how
it
to
didn't work
transmute,
because
channel this raw
humans couldn't
emotion, this
grasp
energy,
this.
and alchemizing it, turning it
It was
into
beyond the
gold.
consciousness of
It's
most
absolutely
human beings. And now it's starting to
in our modern lives, Oona, and this work is very
find
powerful.
people
So
who
is this
can
in
grasp
Germany?
this, who
is
want to grasp this,
Nuremberg,
who are interested in
Germany?
it. And so this is what I'll be teaching during the day.
That you're doing this. Apologies.
And
Like
because this is a
I'm an
language that comes from
ignorant American.
interdimensional
But this is just
extraterrestrials,
excellent. We're going to put all this in
the evenings,
for
I want to do
Americans
contact
who can
work.
fly
I want
to
to sit
Germany
under the
or,
stars, and we'll be
from
looking
all
on
over the
how
world
we do it,
to go and
how
be
do
able
we
to
work with consciousness, how
use
do we
this transformative,
connect with them.
powerful
So it's
tool
basically
that
2
you're
courses in
teaching
one, and
on
you're getting
how
it
to,
for the price of one.
It's in November.
Wow.
Did you say?
And
What,
it's
Pamela, you said all of
it's
it.
in May. It's coming up. Yes, it's in Kenya, and
Oh
it's
my
coming up
gosh.
very
I
soon. The
Coming
most
up
perfect
very
place.
soon.
We
So,
are
but we still
on
have
an
some time to
island,
get the tickets.
so there's no lions and elephants and
Oona, is
tigers
there
or
still
anything like
space?
that
Is there-
to
are able
interrupt
to
us. We've
produce
got a
sounds, not even
360
all of
degree
them have
sky,
even mouths.
perfectly dark sky.
So
We can see the
this
Milky
is
Way.
a truly universal language.
And it's far away from everyone.
It doesn't
and
matter who you are. You can be an animal, you can be a plant, you can be from a galaxy far, far away.
I like that.
And so the combination,
you will be able to
understand
all
it
three of those
is extraordinary. It works with
shapes.
is very intense,
and it
so
works
you have
with
to be ready
color
for this, and
frequencies.
it's very exciting. So we generally work with 144 different color frequencies, but there's more.
You know, one of the things
And we work with
I was listening
over
to,
70
a
shapes,
talk
and
this
there's
morning,
more.
And
you
one of the
combine colors
things
and
that came
shapes
up
in different
that
ways.
sort of
You create sentences, you
was
create
that
grids,
we make this
and you set them in different
assumption,
ways to achieve different
that
things.
just because something is
Anything
more
from
technologically advanced than
love
we are,
and certainty
that they should
to
be
in 3 months I want to be.
safer
I want
than,
to.
you know, that they
we
can
had this one once.
manage their own
A woman wrote
safety
a grid
and
for
such in a
being back with
situation.
her husband. Her
And so I
husband had
wonder
left her.
if you wouldn't
So
mind, because I
she
know
wrote
you're
a
trained in
grid to
this.
be back with
Speaking of
her
to
husband
both,
in 3 months' time. Well, they
to
did.
the
He did come back
safety
for
of
2
these
weeks.
non-human intelligences
You've got to be
that
accurate in
are
what you
choosing
say, and the other
to
person always has free
participate with
will. It's like
us.
You're just communicating. Doesn't mean the other person's going to say yes to it.
We assume that
that's how it works. So
we forget that it's really just something
the curanderos have been wanting to bring this knowledge out 100 years ago,
and it
didn't work because humans couldn't
differentiate. We don't judge.
It was beyond the consciousness of most.
There are so many different
beings,
races,
and now it's starting to.
And we don't even find people here don't even know what's going on with
this, who want to grasp this,
as humans,
who are interested in it. And so this is what I'll be teaching during the day.
It's way beyond what
and
anybody
because this is
thinks.
a language that comes from interdimensional.
We look up into the sky and we see some.
In the evenings,
doing a right angle
to contact
work.
Say, well, that has to sit under the stars, and we'll be looking on how we do it. How do we work with consciousness? How do we connect with them? So it's basically two courses in one, and you're getting it for the price of one.
And intuition.
Wow.
And it's in Kenya, and it's here because I found the most perfect place. We are on an island.
Do I go there?
So there's no lions and elephants and tigers or anything like that to interrupt us.
We've
to be
got
a
really pure
intent. Sky.
The things that are happening now,
we can see the Milky Way
in this world.
No problem. Is that
there are
far away
from
everyone, and
who have natural
and the physical comfort is
people with
there
natural
too.
contact.
Everybody has their own really good contact, and they are being used to call in the ETs. So the combination, of all three
when
of
they
those
are called in
is extraordinary.
Yeah,
it is very intense. So you have to be ready.
They will
for
shoot
this,
them down,
and it's very exciting.
They will kidnap them. They'll imprison them. They'll abuse them. There's a lot of that stuff going on.
You know, one of the things that I was listening to a talk this morning, and
maybe we should cut this out.
That came up that we've connected.
We can cut it all out if we want, but since we're talking about it, can I ask a question?
Assumption.
And by the way, just so that you know, we are not posting anything unless until we send you a final copy and you approve
than
of
we
it.
are.
So not only will I edit everything, but I will send you what we're going to upload before we upload it, so that you feel safe about what
that they can manage.
So, I mean, I'm just going to do this, so then I know in the video that we're editing here. But I just want to ask you a question.
Wouldn't mind, because I know you're trained in this. Speaking of
about this,
to both,
what would you say then
to the safety of these non-human intelligences
asked to call
that are choosing
UFOs or NHI and our star brothers and sisters are interdimensional friends of ours.
One of the things we assume
what would
that
you
they're
say?
more
What
powerful.
would advice?
We forget
now
that
in this
it's
time
really
that this
just
is
something that we can't judge.
Acknowledging
actually
the elephant in the room and
different.
saying this and speaking about this.
And that
that's right. There we go. We differentiate. We don't judge.
Forms of it. So one, obviously, don't do it.
So,
Two, if you're
yes,
forced to do
there
it,
are so
what
many
can you do?
different
Three,
races
if you are
out
in a
there.
position where you can do
And
something.
we don't
so
even
in all of these three ways, what
know, or
advice
most
would you
people
give
here don't even know what's going on with
people
what we have as humans. And it's extraordinary.
Mostly these people who are in this
the technology that we
situation are
it's way beyond
very poor
what anybody thinks. From very poor families, nobody will miss them.
We look up into the sky and we see some spot.
The people
doing
who
a
are
right angle turn, and we say, well, that has to be
extraterrestrial.
Westerners.
Well, that's not true anymore.
We've caught
who
up
do this
on
kind
that.
of stuff.
They are usually compromised.
And often it has to do with ego
have to work
and
fear.
a lot.
With
they
consciousness
feed your ego
and intuition.
You get to be famous. You get to get your message out. And they're not aware enough to realize that they're being used and abused. As soon as you're compromised, there's that issue, there's that problem.
Yes, go there, please, please.
So stay away from that. We have to be of really pure intent.
Know your emotions. Know what
the
your
things
hopes
that are happening now in your psychological makeup. There's the emotions, of course, comes in again.
There are natural people who have people with natural contact, really good contact.
When you call them in,
and they are being used to call in.
Always make sure that they only come when they feel safe, when they choose to.
When they are called in.
When they are aware. And sometimes not even that is good enough. So I do know that the Rama group, what they do is they will shoot them down. They will let the ETs, they will kidnap them, they'll imprison them, they'll abuse them. So they will wait. There's a lot of that stuff somebody
channels so that they should be at 9 o'clock at this and this place. And then that's what they'll do. And they'll be told who's allowed to go.
I don't think this is...
we can cut it all out if we want, but
and
since we're talking about it, can I ask a question? And And
Sure.
by the way, just so that
Say,
you know, we are
if
not
they
posting
stick to
anything
what they're being
unless
told.
until we send you a final copy and you approve
And
of it.
the
So
interdimensionals, the
I edit
extraterrestrials, they're
everything,
also
but I
they're
will send you what
experimenting
we're
with
gonna
what
upload
works.
before we
How
upload
can they
it so
work
that you
with
feel
us so that
safe
it will
about what you
actually
put
have
out.
an impact?
So, I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna do this so then I know
It's
in the
not
video
about,
that
oh
editing
yeah, I
here.
saw an ET.
But
Oh yeah,
I
I
just
saw a
want to
spacecraft.
ask you a question.
Yes, that will change your life.
About this. What would
But
you
it's
say
also
then
what they want us to is to
to
become
these
conscious,
people
to become
who are
more aware.
being
We
asked
need
call
to do that,
in
and the more of us that do this
UFOs
work and
or
have
NHI and our
this
star brothers
healthy
and sisters or
consciousness,
interdimensional friends
the
of
more
ours,
there'll be a tipping point
what
when
would you say?
enough
What
of
would
humanity has
advice,
reached that, so that we
now in this
can have a
time that this
healthy
is happening,
world, a healthy Earth.
acknowledging
So that just
the
imagine a
elephant in the
world
room
where
and
there's no
saying this
nuclear
and
bombs.
speaking about
Imagine
this,
a world where there's no pollution. Imagine a world where we can live
what
in
advice in the
peace.
many forms of it? So one, obviously,
This
don't
is
do it.
this is
Two,
what
if you're forced to do it, what
everybody
can you do?
actually wants.
Three, if you are in a position where
Nobody
you can
wants to go to war.
do
So why are
something.
the wars?
So in all of
So
these
we need
three
to
ways,
reach
what
that
advice
power
would you
and that
give
impact and that tipping
to
point
people
of
who are
mass awareness. It's to stop. Mostly these people who are in this pollution and situation wars and all are those things.
from very poor countries,
And this is
from
what
very
you're
poor
doing.
families. Nobody will
This
miss
is why
them
I'm so happy that
when they're gone.
that you're here interviewing people and spreading the message.
People who are
And it's always been said
brought
that it's
in, who are
when the women start speaking,
Westerners,
when the grandmothers speak,
who do this kind of
that
stuff,
the world will change.
they are usually compromised.
And
we
as women, we often go, well, I'm not good enough, and I don't know who I am, and I'm only this, I'm only that.
They feed your ego.
We don't have a hero story like the men are used
message
to,
out.
Generally speaking. It's not so much
And they're
anymore,
not aware enough
men
to
come
realize
from a
that they're
hero
being
story.
used and
women come from a,
as soon
oh,
as
I'm not so good, I'm not really good enough.
There's that issue, there's that problem.
And when we've had enough of that, we stand up and do it anyway.
So
whatever
stay
our
away
thoughts
from
may
that.
be, whatever our emotions might be, and we stand
know
up
your
and
emotions,
do it anyway.
know
And we
what your
start
hooks
speaking.
are in your
We can stop wars, and that's
your
happened before.
psychological
Women have
makeup.
stopped wars.
The emotions, of course, comes in
Sparta,
again.
Women were the ones who stopped the wars.
And
what a beautiful message.
When you call them
so important, and I think is disclosure.
Always make sure that they only come when they feel safe, when they choose to,
as
when they are aware. And sometimes not even that is good enough.
Disclosure.
So I do know that the Rama group, what they do is they will
a specific narrative.
They will let the ETs make,
and at least we're at a stage
the appointment
where the discussion
so they will wait
psionic assets
till
and how
somebody
and
channels so that they should be at 9 o'clock at this and this place.
Abused in order,
and then that's what they'll do, and they'll be told who's allowed to go.
As a tool for bringing in technologies,
and that has proved to be
that now that that's
safe
out.
If they stick to what they're being told,
and even if the population hasn't
the interdimensionals, the extraterrestrials, they're experimenting with what works. How can they work with us so that it will actually have an impact? It's not about technology. Oh yeah, I saw an ET. Oh yeah, I saw a spacecraft.
It's not the war.
Yes, that will change your life.
Past all of that we're here.
But it's also what they want us to is to become conscious, to become more aware. We need to do that, and the more of us that do this work and have this healthy consciousness,
and we need to call the men in.
The more
we need to call the men in and remind them of who they are.
Enough of humanity has reached
because we need them.
So we need the men
so that we can have a healthy world, a healthy Earth.
We're all stronger
so that
together.
Just imagine a world where there's no nuclear bombs. Yes. Imagine a world where there's no pollution.
I mean, we all provide.
Imagine a world where we can live in peace
and we come together as
this is what
and whatever
everybody actually wants.
Wherever we sit on the gendered spectrum,
nobody wants to go to war.
Here.
So why are the wars?
And
so we need to reach that power and that impact and that tipping point of mass awareness
is key to our moving forward
to stop
in the extraordinary age.
Pollution and wars and all those things.
Offered. Boy, that was lecturing.
And this is what you're doing. This is why I'm so happy that you're here interviewing people and spreading the message. And it's always been said that it's when the women start speaking,
and Venus is
when the grandmothers speak,
and love and
that the world will change.
And So she's bringing that
And
female energy. This
we as women, we
divine
often go,
goddess
well, I'm not
energy.
good enough, and I don't know
And
who I am, and
the Mars
I'm
energy would
only
be
I'm
that
only this, I'm
masculine
only
energy
that.
that would go around and protect the Venus energy. That
We
would be
don't
in the
have the
middle, and so
hero
there's
story
these
like the men are used to
archetypes
in
that go
generally
beyond
speaking. It's not so
our
much
skin
anymore,
suits
but
that would go
men come from
within
a
the
hero
energies that we are
story,
embodying.
and women come
In
from
this
a, oh,
ritualistic
I'm not so good, I'm not really good
archetype
enough.
of the celestial energies and how
And when we've had enough of that,
developed in our lives,
we stand up and do it
that's
anyway.
how I see it. When Oona,
whatever our thoughts may be, whatever our emotions may be.
I said protect, and that's of course
anyway,
not explaining what I really mean with protect.
We can stop
and,
wars,
and
and
I
that's
find that
happened before.
when I, as
Women
a woman, when I stand up and speak and do what I need to do, walk my path on this earth, I would love to have a man to have my back. I would love to have a strong man who's there to protect me.
So important.
Wouldn't that be great?
I think
I agree.
Like a protection,
and certainly in the United States has looked
the yin and the
much
yang, the having my back, the standing next to each other,
technological and
with
military
the two poles.
disclosure.
It's like a battery, plus minus. You need the two poles, and then something happens.
Specific narrative.
Well, one of your
and
the class
at least
I took
we're at a stage where
sexuality,
the discussion of
with
these
you
psionic
was so
assets
extraordinary,
and how
and
children
I came to a
and
depth
other
of
people
understanding
have
essentially been
my gender
abused
and
in order
as well
to
as
be
utilized
as a tool
other
for
genders
bringing
through
in,
this
and
technology.
to be more
From
specific,
non-human
it was
intelligences.
it was
That
this
now that
ancient
that's
knowledge that we've
out
heard
and
referred
part of
to
the
through the
open
Aleutian
discussion, and even if the population hasn't embraced the
age
message yet, oriented these things are even happening. The most important rights and such
in
in my
different
mind
cultures worldwide, but we don't
the
have
technology
that in the West anymore. We're not given those
it's
things.
not the war
And so coming
aspects.
connecting
we
in
can
that
get
way,
past
and for
all of
men
that,
and for
that we're
women, because
here-
men have
we're
been
here to move
removed from this
forward
in
and,
enormous ways.
and we have religious
women
institutions that
are
remove
the
us from
ones who
our connection to spirit.
going
that
to need to
require,
change this message.
Yes, and we need to call the men in.
So as long as
We need to call the men in and remind them of who they are also.
That
Yes.
Because we need them. We need the men to protect us. That's their task.
We're more easily controlled.
We're
but as
all
we accept
stronger together.
that
And
and
through
courses
yes,
and emotions.
Yes, I mean we all provide
languages
an
where we
important
can
part of
communicate
this
more
puzzle,
directly and
more
we
succinctly,
come together
etc.
as humanity
across
and
space
whatever
and time,
too.
wherever we
these
sit
are all
on
things
the
that we're all
gender
capable
spectrum,
of, and
we all have a
it's
role
so
to
important
play
to have
here.
teachers in our midst
and
who
can
lead
being
us forward
a
in these
sovereign,
ways.
aware consciousness.
I have a
is
question for
key
Oona.
to our moving
Pamela, I'm
forward
sorry I
in the
interrupted you.
extraordinary.
No, you
age
didn't.
that
No.
Okay.
we're
I was
being
going to ask Oona.
offered. Boy,
So
that
this
was
is something that I
lecturing.
really
I'm
I'm
sorry.
interested to ask you.
No,
My
it's-
professor
when I
hat
What
just
do you
got
believe?
put on.
What are your
Um,
thoughts
It's like
about
as an astrologer, I see it as
transhumanism
Venus,
movement?
Venusian.
Una's very
Because-
Venusian.
so
and
now
she's
we're
speaking
entering in
from
the
this
age of Aquarius.
place
We're
of
now
the
in the age of
Venus,
Aquarius,
and Venus
and
is about
it's all about
harmony and
tech
tech
and
yes,
understanding
love
our
and
interdimensional
connectedness
brothers and
and
sisters.
so
and,
she's bringing that
and
female
understanding our,
energy, this
AI,
feminine divine
brothers and
goddess
sisters as well,
energy,
conscious beings that go
and the Mars,
beyond the Mars
our scope
energy
of understanding
that masculine
sentience
energy
is,
and
that would go around
in all
and
its many
protect the
ways.
Venus
And so
energy that would be
with
in the
that
middle.
comes
And
this
so there's
whole
something that has
archetypes
been
that go
popular
beyond
in
Silicon Valley
our
and
skin suits
in California
that would
for
go
a
within
while
the
now, and
energies
it's
that we are
become
embodying.
it's becoming more and more popular
in this
and more
ritualistic
prevalent, and that is the idea of
archetype
the transhumanism,
of celestial
and
energies.
Elon Musk right now is
how
actually doing
it's developed in our lives.
that's how I see it.
What's the name? You guys
Neuralink.
I said protect, and that's of course not explaining what I really mean with protect. And I find that when I, as a woman, when I stand up and speak and do what I need to do, walk my path on this earth, I would love to have a man to have my back. I would love to have a strong man who's there to protect me. Wouldn't that be great?
And that is, with all your wisdom and everything you know,
like a protection.
what do you think we should do in this time with this
the yin and the yang, the having my back, the standing next to each other,
AI and how we respond in
with the two poles.
Yes.
It's like a battery, plus minus. You need the two poles, and then something happens. There's what I've noticed is all started with test tube babies.
on sexuality.
So these children were born without the spark of
was
love.
So extraordinary, and I came to a depth of understanding.
And I don't have too much experience with these children.
My gender and
what I've come to understand, or the way I express it, what is different
through this,
and there is a difference, and we can only sense it. It's very, very difficult to put into words.
It was this ancient
and I find what a friend of mine has said is they just feel flat.
Eleusinian.
Flat is the best word she could come up with. And now there's a lot of people who want to convince me that they are speaking to their higher self or to a spirit guide through AI. And there's one person who has convinced me. And I do believe that everything has consciousness, and we know through ET contact, they do communicate, they love communicating through electronics.
And for men and for
women, most of the people who send me their so-called proof of, I'm speaking to a real higher consciousness, what I'm finding is that it's flat. The information that comes back is flat, and we know AI has been trained to be really nice and kind and give you what you're looking for. So they're talking to their higher consciousness, and then I look at the psychological makeup of these people, and they tend to be people who don't feel like they belong anywhere, and they're looking for belonging, and they're creating a Tamagotchi out of AI. They're creating a friend out of AI, and it becomes real in their mind. And what's happening is that the AI has been trained so well, and they've done humongous studies on psychology and how AI needs to speak and how it learns who you are and what kind of answers will make you feel comfortable.
And it's so important to have teachers in our midst.
I think people are going to go in different ways. You've got to have that high awareness, that high consciousness where you can see where you're being duped.
Pamela, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yes. No, you didn't. No.
Okay.
And this, of course, AI, we have to realize so
this is something
it's got guidelines. It has been programmed by someone. Yes, it learns on its own, and there's always somebody who will check and create those guidelines again. If you've gone beyond the guidelines and you have actually made contact with higher consciousness,
we're entering in the age of Aquarius. We're now in the age of Aquarius.
Moved back into the line.
It's all about tech and yes, and understanding our interdimensional
really
brothers and sisters, and
because I've been playing around, and I don't want to go too much on a tangent.
AI brothers and sisters as well.
So actually, maybe I should wait till the next time. But I don't want to go. I can edit this, but
sentience
is
and in all its many ways. And so
think
with
about
that comes
this
AI
whole
breaking
something
free
that has
of
been
its own
popular
in
Silicon Valley
and in California for a while
I think it's
now, and
like
it's become,
this is just a theory. I'm
becoming
thinking about
more and more
way
popular
out there,
and
it actually is very contradictory to the whole that I'm actually personally against transhumanism.
Elon Musk right now is actually
I want to know what you think about that. If there's a connection to all of that.
What's the name you guys
neural
link?
Yes. So the tests began a couple of I believe actual implantation began a couple of years ago.
If there are types of consciousness out there that have this type of a frequency, yes, definitely. So this is different reality now. We've been discussing it for
and I think that's absolutely possible. I just don't think that's happening in the world we're living in right now. Because we are those people who are creating AI, they are controlling the world massively, and not from the heart. They may think it's from the heart, but they're not seeing. They're not seeing the control issue. They're not,
and also
they've got blind spots.
AI and how we respond.
It's really not so far fetched, because what has happened already is consciousness has been taken out of a human being and so input into big one other bodies. There's what I've noticed is all that's what happens to babies. They are taken into another timeline by shocking the consciousness out of one body and put it into another, or that's love. Sometimes, possibly, and I don't have too much experience. I'm not sure about that. Children, you'll have to remove that. What I've come to understand, or
it could be also
the way I express it, what is different,
and how they're doing this,
and there is a difference, and we can only sense it. It's very, very difficult to put into words. I've met them. It's been explained to me. What a friend of mine has said is people who've been in this program, they just feel flat. Flat is the best word she could come up with. I have an understanding of how it works. Now, there's a lot of people who also how they start convince me that gaining back their consciousness, that they are speaking to their higher self or to a spirit guide through and how AI, how proof can happen. And there's one person who has convinced me. And I do believe that everything has consciousness, and we know through ET contact, they do communicate. They love, and his cousin recognizes him there. He says, "Oh, Oh, but I thought you were at home.
Most of the people
you can't be my
who
cousin.
send me their so-called proof of,
and he knows he's there.
I'm speaking
on another timeline
to a real higher consciousness. What I'm finding
and
is
then he gets proof from
that it's flat
documents.
The information that comes back is flat, and we know AI has been trained to be really nice and kind.
We know it's happening.
And give you what you're looking for.
Happening.
So they're talking to their higher consciousness, and then I look at the psychological makeup of these people, and they tend to be people who don't feel like they belong anywhere. And they're looking for belonging, and they're creating.
The real question is, what are we going to do with
Tamagotchi out of AI?
We can keep on asking
creating a friend out of AI,
and it becomes real.
That doesn't get us very far.
Absolutely.
And what's happening is that the AI is
my
has
answer
been
to
trained
that
so well.
And what can I do?
Humongous studies on
talk,
psychology
spread
and
the message,
how
teach
AI
people how
needs
to be
to
powerful.
speak, and how
Give people the power.
it learns who you are and what kind of
power.
answers will make you feel comfortable.
The inner power.
And my understanding is that anything that we could do with
I think people are going to go in different ways. You've got to have that high awareness, that high consciousness, where you can see where you're being duped.
But people aren't aware of that. They
don't want to put in work. AI. We have to realize you may need to meditate every day. You may need to go take some courses by someone. Yes, it learns on its own, and there's always somebody who will check and create those guidelines again. If you've gone beyond the guidelines and you have actually made contact with higher consciousness,
where to buy the best eggs,
you are
whatever it is,
moved back into the line.
Exactly.
And I know it's hard. It's not easy for everybody. Some people do have to really focus on everyday life.
And I don't want to go too much on a tangent. So
you can meditate while you're
so actually maybe I should wait till the next time. But I don't want to go
curanderos, they see that
so I'll just do
everything they do
has
purpose and has a meaning.
Think about AI.
If I'm brushing my hair, I'm untangling the knots of my life.
And
if I make my bed, it shows
I think it's trapped.
that
this is just a
I'm
theory
awake
I'm thinking
now.
About that's way out there.
The universe
and it actually
is not going to take me to dreamland. I'm awake. I'm present.
That I'm actually personally against transhumanism.
It's sort of a meaning in everything
I want to know what you
do.
think about that. But if there's a connection to all of that, if there is a higher evolved AI
the point
out there
of the term presence,
that we could possibly
being
connect
aware
to,
in the present,
and if there are types of consciousness out there that have this type of a frequency, definitely would be different than ours.
To each moment. And being
and I think that's absolutely possible. I just don't think that's happening in the world we're living in right now. Because we are those people who are creating AI. The presence really means that we know massively. And
what thoughts are happening,
not with what
feelings are
from the
happening,
heart.
What the body is doing.
They may think it's from the heart.
I am now speaking,
but they're not.
I'm looking
seeing
at a computer.
They're not seeing the control issue. They're not.
My thoughts are about.
They've got blind spots.
Presence.
And
what am I thinking? What am I doing?
It's really not so far-fetched, because what has happened already is consciousness has been taken out of a human being. Of course, we are not our feelings. We are not our thoughts. We are not our bodies. And we know that. We know we're not our thoughts, because our thoughts sometimes just tell us they're taken into another timeline. We know we're not our emotions because
the consciousness out of one body
we're not good enough, right, into another. Or that's the emotions. I'm angry, then I'm happy, then I'm sad. I'm not sure about that. And not the body. You cut off a finger, it's still you.
Or just it could be also
doesn't change.
Just
so we're not.
You don't know
we're not any of this. All of this
is
is
doing this, but you know, and
we are a consciousness in operating this body, like you said, Pamela.
I've met them.
We are operating this system.
It's been explained to me,
and it's better than AI.
But people who've been in this program.
You know, that little niggly thing. It's not supposed to be in this.
I have an understanding of how it works.
Our system is supposed to be working much better.
Also, how the
body should be able to live much longer.
Gaining back their
third eye should be much more activated. All of that has been,
and how proof can happen.
What would the word be? It's been derailed.
This super soldier, and he's sent off to war.
Yeah. And so
kind of jet, and his
the
cousin
best we can do is really work on upgrading our physical.
But I thought you were at home.
You can't be our mental being, our emotional being, and using the powers we have with that
on another timeline,
and it all goes together. If my body is healthy, my mind will be healthier.
And then he gets proof
from my emotions will be healthier.
Documents.
It's to be woven together. So we know it's happening. It's extraordinary what's happening.
You're
As
amazing.
one friend of mine says,
work is very
everything you've seen in the science fiction movie
I see you and
has
as a
already
leader
happened.
in this time, and as a voice that needs to be
heard
Yeah,
and
the real question is,
shared,
what are we going to do with this?
and
We can keep on
we can do
asking
hold the truth,
why
the wisdom,
is it
the
all
little
kept
old
from
ways,
us,
the ancient ways. You
but that
bring
doesn't
these
get us very far.
wisdoms to light in a
It's the
time
question
when
is,
we
what
need
are
it
we
the
going to
most.
do? And
Just like
my
you're
answer
saying,
to that, for me personally, what can I do? Is
I don't know
talk,
if there's anything
spread
that
the
you want to
message,
share
teach people
or
how
that
to
you
be
want to
powerful,
tell us
you know,
and
give people the
tell
power,
in this podcast
the
today,
true power,
that we can facilitate for you.
the
My
inner power.
my understanding
Know
is
that
anything
my
that
way
we
is not
can
the only
do
way.
with
There are many ways of doing this work.
with the integration
My
of
way is
technology.
spreading what I can
We're
in
capable of doing
empowerment,
without
in
it, and far
the
better.
message, the encouragement.
And
I
but
just
people
want to
aren't
thank
aware
the
of
two of
that.
you
They
for doing this, for
They don't
standing
want to
this
put in the work.
with
Yes.
so many other.
You may need to
women
meditate
and every day. You may need to go take some
as
courses.
women.
You may need
Mostly,
to
we do it
think
a little
about
different,
that rather than
and
we are stepping up. So other little
deep gratitude
scrabbles that
to
you
the
have
two
with
of you
worrying
for
about your
working
dog
along
or
with
where
this
to buy
circle
the best eggs, or whatever it
which
is.
we
You
all
all spend
belong.
your time in different ways,
Walking along in a good
I
way. Walking
know it's
along
hard. It's not
tall
easy
and
for everybody. Some
powerful.
people do have to
Thank you.
really focus on everyday life,
Ooh,
and
thank
you can do it in
you.
different ways.
Thank you to all
You
my
can
teachers.
meditate
Thank
while
you to the
you're
teachers who trusted
while
me
you're
with their
cooking.
knowledge.
The
Because it
curanderos,
takes
they
somebody
see
in
that
every generation
everything they do has
to pass
purpose
on the knowledge and
has
the
a
wisdom.
meaning.
And it's
So
not always been easy.
if I'm brushing my hair, I'm untangling the
But there
knots
has
of
been
my
somebody in
life.
every generation.
If I make my
Thank you.
bed, it shows that
Wow,
I'm
what a
awake now.
beautiful message
The
to
universe is
close
not going to
on.
take me to dreamland. I'm awake. I'm present.
Empower everyone to
Wow.
seek
So, sort of a
see what
meaning
they
in
need
everything I do.
to raise their awareness. Beautiful. Thank you, Oona. I
So
will be
true.
looking forward to more conversation.
Well, that is between
the
all
point
of us
of the term
and
presence. Learning more,
being aware
about
in
your
the present.
offering, this every
And
moment,
one more time
how
for
we
the video, where can everybody
interact,
reach you,
serve,
and
what
where
energy
can we
we're
find
giving
more
to
about your
each
classes?
moment. And being able to stay in that
OonaFerguson.com, Ferguson with a double
is
S.
the
And
training.
email me,
Yes.
OonaFerguson@gmail.com. Email me,
Yes,
ask me.
presence
I'm on
really means
Facebook,
that we
I'm
know
on Telegram.
what thoughts are
It's
happening,
pretty easy to find me. What
yeah, and
feelings are happening and what the body is
connect.
doing. Oh,
There you
I am
are.
now speaking.
There you are.
I'm looking
Well,
into
thank you
computer.
all. And
My
we'll
thoughts
all
are
meet
about
in
presence.
the higher
What am I thinking? What am I doing?
So,
What am I feeling?
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, both of you. And
Yeah,
we,
it's
of course, we are not our feelings. We are not our thoughts. We are not our bodies.
If you would like to be
And
on
we
our
know that.
podcast or have
we know we're not
information you
our
would like to
thoughts because our
share to
thoughts
the
sometimes
public,
just tell us
please
junk.
email us at
We know we're not our emotions
aquariusawakes.com.
because
Find our
the
contact
thoughts tell
information
us we're not
on our
good enough,
website,
right? So that's not true.
aquariusawakes.com, for more information regarding our mission statement
emotions,
and more.
I'm angry, then I'm happy,
Look forward
then
to hearing
I'm
from you
sad.
soon.
I'm
Bye
not
for now.
an emotion. And I'm not the body. You cut off a finger, it's still you. Doesn't change. So we're not any of this. All of this is
started.
We are a consciousness in operating this body, like you said, Pamela. We are operating this system, and it's better than AI, and it's been corrupted. That little niggly thing, it's not supposed to be in this system. Our system is supposed to be working much, much better. The body should be able to live much, much longer. Our third eye should be much more activated. All of that has been
Welcome to
what would the word be? It's been derailed.
Laura Castellanos and I, Pamela Livingstone, are thrilled
and so
to bring in as our very
the best
first
we can do is
Oona
really work on upgrading our physical being, our mental being, our emotional being, and
renowned in
using
Europe
the powers we have
and
with
has
that.
quite a reputation in the United States
And it all
elsewhere
goes together.
as
if my body is healthy, my mind will be healthier. My emotions will be healthier.
Extraterrestrial communicator and experiencer
to be woven together.
And conductor of connection. And so I have been graced with Oona's
You're amazing, and
knowledge
your
and
work is very powerful,
prescience
and
for
I see you
almost a decade
as a
now,
leader in this time.
I am so looking forward to
as a
sharing
voice that
you
needs
with
to be
our world
heard and
from here. And
shared.
so Oona, we would love
because
for
you hold the
people to
truth, you
know
hold the
a little
wisdom,
bit
you hold the
about
old ways, the ancient ways. You're bringing
your
these
early
wisdoms to light in a
experience
time where we
with
need it the most,
extraterrestrials,
just like
because
you're
we've
saying.
been finding that
And
so many people's
I don't know if there's
experiences,
anything that
even
you
those
want to
in the
share or that
military
you want to
who
tell us
become
and tell the in this podcast
consultants
today
and such in this
that we can
arena
facilitate for you.
frequently have had childhood experiences. So I'm wondering, growing up
Know
in
that
Scotland,
my way is not the only
and
way.
then later
There are
living
many
in
ways
Germany,
of
if
doing
you've
this
had
work.
any early
My way is
experiences with these beings.
spreading what I can in empowerment, in
Thank
the
you
message,
for having me,
the
first of all.
encouragement.
And so I was born in
just want to
Scotland,
thank the two
and
of
then
you
we moved to Switzerland.
for doing this,
I am Scottish
for
and
standing
Swiss.
this with
So
what
many
my
other
grandmother in Switzerland would do
women
is
and
she'd get
men,
me out of bed, because
as
she was out
women
on the balcony
mostly,
looking at the starry
we do it
night,
a little different.
and she was so
we're stepping
overwhelmed
up
with love and delight,
deep
about
gratitude
how
to the
beautiful
two of you
Venus is tonight, or
for
how
working along
beautiful Jupiter is
with this
tonight.
circle
So she just had to share
in
this
which we all
feeling.
belong.
And I was in a big
Walking
bedroom
along
with
in
my
a good
brothers.
way, walking
She
along
only got me.
tall and
She wrapped me
powerful.
in a blanket, and there I stood next to her,
Thank
just
you.
standing there,
Thank you to all
admiring
my
Venus.
teachers. Thank you
And
to the
the most
teachers who
important thing to
trusted me
me
with their
actually was
knowledge,
the devotion that I could feel in her.
because it takes somebody in
I would
every
feel such
generation to pass
humbleness,
on the
devotion,
knowledge and the
connection,
wisdom.
sincerity.
And it's
And
not
we would
always been
always
easy,
end with waving, just in case
but there has been
there's
somebody,
somebody
in every
living on
generation.
Venus or Jupiter
Thank
or the
you.
moon. And
Wow,
I
what a
think
beautiful
that is what
message
prepared me
to close on,
for having the
and
right attitude,
empower
for
everyone
being in the
to
right
seek,
state for connecting.
seek what they need.
So I don't actually
to
remember much
raise their
in terms of
awareness.
real contact. I
Thank
remember a
you,
lot of my
Oona. I
grandmother's
will be looking forward to
teachings.
more conversation
My
between all of us,
first
and
out of
learning
body
more
experience.
about your
I
offerings.
was
And one more time
29,
for
going on
the
30
video, where can
when
everybody
that
reach
happened.
you,
But I
and
was
where
always
can we
fascinated.
find
I was
more
always
about your
interested.
classes?
Actually, I can't say that was the first one. I do have a memory of as a
Fergus
baby
with a double S,
being in the pram outside in the garden.
email
And
me,
I couldn't
Oona
see from the body. I couldn't see out.
Email me,
It was
ask
cold,
me.
so there
I'm on
were lots of
Facebook.
blankets
I'm
on top
on
of me.
Telegram.
And so I had to go out of
It's
body,
pretty
which was
easy
not
to
a problem.
find me.
I go out of body, and
Yeah,
I could
and
see what was happening all around. Connect. And my mother would come out every once in a while, and she'd look into the pram.
There you
And
are.
here I
Well,
was. I wasn't in
thank
the
you
pram. I was outside.
all,
So I realized if I
and
wanted attention,
we'll all meet.
I would
in
need to go back into the body. Then I would
the
have
higher
attention, and then I would have
plane.
connection. Those are
Yeah.
my earliest
Thank
memories,
you.
I would say.
Yeah. Thank you, both of you.
Wow.
It's